Right now, somewhere in the world, a football match is about to send someone to the hospital. They're not on the pitch. They're not even near the stadium. They're sitting on a couch, holding their breath, because watching your team play can do something to your body that feels impossible. It can literally stop your heart. That's not a figure of speech. During major tournaments, hospitals see it every single time. And once you understand why, you'll never watch a penalty shootout the same way again. Let's start with the part that sounds made up, but isn't. In 2006, the World Cup was held in Germany, and a group of doctors decided to track something unusual. How many people had cardiac emergencies on the days the German team played, compared to normal days? The results were so dramatic, they ended up in the New England Journal of Medicine, one of the most respected medical journals on Earth. On days when Germany played, cardiac emergencies more than doubled. Heart attacks, dangerous arrhythmias, cardiac arrests, all spiking in sync with the match schedule. For men, the risk was over 3 times higher than normal, and the worst day of the entire tournament? It wasn't a loss, it was the quarterfinal against Argentina, the one that went to a penalty shootout. The most stressful possible way to watch football turned out to be the most dangerous. So, what's actually happening inside the body of someone just watching? Here's the strange truth. Your body cannot tell the difference between watching danger and being in danger. When the match gets tense, your team is defending a 1-goal lead, the clock is bleeding out, a striker is bearing down on goal. Your brain reads the situation as a threat, not a metaphorical one, a real one, and it flips the same switch your ancestors used when a predator stepped out of the trees. It's called the fight or flight response. Your adrenal glands flood your bloodstream with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate climbs. Your blood pressure spikes. Your breathing goes shallow. Your muscles tense for an action you are never going to take because you are sitting completely still on a sofa. That's the absurd part. All that energy, all that biological emergency, and there's nowhere for it to go. You can't run. You can't fight. You just sit there, marinating in your own stress hormones, while 11 strangers decide how your body feels. For a healthy person, this is uncomfortable but survivable. But for someone with an already weakened heart, narrowed arteries, high blood pressure, a problem they might not even know about, that surge can be the final push. Here's the mechanism. When adrenaline floods your system, it does 3 dangerous things at once. It forces your heart to beat harder and faster, demanding more oxygen. It clamps down on your blood vessels, raising the pressure inside them. And this is the one most people never hear about. It makes your blood stickier, more likely to clot. So you have a heart working overtime, in pipes under high pressure, pumping blood that's primed to form a blockage. If there's already a fragile bit of plaque lining an artery, that combination can tear it open. A clot forms, blood flow stops, and that's a heart attack. Triggered not by exercise, not by exertion, but by emotion alone. There's an even stranger version of this. Doctors have a name for it: stress cardiomyopathy, sometimes called broken heart syndrome. A burst of intense emotion floods the heart with so much adrenaline that the muscle physically stuns itself. The heart actually changes shape and stops pumping properly. It can happen from grief, from shock, and yes, from a football match. Your heart can be broken, medically, by a game you're not even playing. But here's where it gets worse, and where most of these stories actually come from. It's almost never just the match. Think about how people watch a big game. They're drinking, often heavily. Alcohol raises blood pressure and triggers irregular heartbeats. They're eating salty, fatty food. They've maybe been too nervous to sleep well. Some are smoking more than usual. And many haven't moved from the couch in hours. Now stack the emotional stress on top of all that. You've got a body already loaded with risk factors, and then you hand it the biological equivalent of being chased by a lion for 90 minutes, plus extra time, plus penalties. That's why the danger isn't really the football. The football is just the trigger. It's the spark dropped onto a pile that was already waiting to catch. And this is the part that should genuinely make you pause, because the people most at risk are usually the ones who care the most. The lifelong fans. The ones who've followed their team for 40 years. The ones for whom this isn't entertainment, it's identity. Their body isn't overreacting to a game. It's reacting to something that, to them, feels like it truly matters. Which brings us to the real question. Why? Why would evolution build a heart that can be stopped by something as meaningless as a ball crossing a line? The answer is that, to your brain, it was never meaningless. For almost all of human history, you lived and died with your group, your tribe. When your group faced another group, in a fight, a hunt, a confrontation, the outcome was life or death, and your body needed to be ready for it. So we evolved to feel our group's battles in our own flesh, to get flooded with adrenaline when our side was threatened, to physically ache when they lost. Football didn't create that wiring, it just found the perfect way to switch it on. 11 people in your colors, against 11 in theirs, fighting over territory in front of a screaming crowd. To the ancient part of your brain, that's not a game, that's your tribe at war. And your heart responds exactly the way it was built to, as if your own survival is on the line. So the next time you're watching a match, and the score is level, and you realize your jaw is clenched, and your heart is pounding, and you're holding your breath over something happening to people you've never met, just notice it. That's not silly. That's not only a game. That's hundreds of thousands of years of being a tribal animal, still alive inside your chest, still treating your team like your family, still ready to fight and die for a group that doesn't know your name. Your heart takes it seriously. Maybe the kindest thing you can do for the people who care the most is to take that seriously too. Drink a little less, sit a little calmer, breathe, because it really is just a game. Your body just never agreed to that.